welcome Trevor MacKenzie to this discussion today. And Trevor is the managing director and partner of Mango Tree Worldwide. Trevor, welcome.
Thank you, David.
So let's just start off. What's the state of play in Bangkok at the moment for restaurants? Here it's pretty ugly out there.
It is, just like everyone else. When you get that close sign, there's no cash flow coming in. So us, like quite a few hotels in Thailand, we relied a lot on tourism and corporate business to fill our restaurants. That's why we did the type of volumes that we did. But without those people here, it's put us in a position where we've had to close several restaurants, 7 exactly. But it's also put us in a position to innovate, where we decided that, hey, we need to be ready for the future. And if this kind of thing is going to be around, then we need to innovate how we move on.
It's very, very difficult to plan the future, isn't it? Because as we've heard from a lot of the panelists today, I mean, the crisis is going to be going well into next year, from what we're hearing about it. And there's different iterations of that crisis. We've got resort destinations, we've got Bangkok, but we're going to focus on Bangkok today. You talked about innovation. What sort of things have you been doing?
So what we've been doing is we've been going out to where the customers are. Traditionally, like I said, we were in the downtown cores. That's where the majority of our restaurants are. With lockdowns and stay at home, we started to see that, our customers were ordering on our delivery platforms, but they would be 30 kilometers away. And so what that did was put us in a position where we opened what we call COCA pop-ups, which are suburban restaurants that we could put in areas right next to housing developments so people don't have to travel far. Very simple concept. Basically, we call it the kitchen for the local residents is what our little motto is that we're there for the people. I think I've even received lots of feedback on our COCA restaurants as well, that people been going there for years, but it's downtown. Nobody wants to drive in on the weekends, that type of thing. And then we also just started making remote kitchens and these cloud kitchen,
let me just
ghost kitchen.
Before we talk. Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I'm sorry to cut you off, really sorry. But I'm just fascinated to know a little bit more about COCA. I mean, I've lived in Bangkok for over 25 years and I've dined in COCA a lot. And I know COCA is quite the heritage. COCA actually started off as a downtown, right? Silom, you were in Silom.
Yeah, Soy Gecho was the first restaurant 65 years ago. Yes.
Right. So it's almost as though you're going back to your roots, actually providing kitchens for the community, if you like.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We said we need to go where the people are. I mean, before, when we were downtown in Bangkok, we've always been a family-oriented type restaurant group that focuses on that. So I think where we're moving in that direction with these suburban outlets, I think is the right thing, so people can reach us more often.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Thank you. And sorry to cut you off. I mean, we've heard a lot about ghost kitchens, for example. Is this something that your group's looking at?
Yeah, we've actually we've already had a few in operation already. We're about to open our 3rd by the end of the month. And again, this was as a result of seeing the delivery and having to deliver 30 kilometers away to our customers. So we started opening up very simple 50 square meter, 40 square meter. One is going to be a container where we've put kitchens in. We utilize our main outlet downtown as a central kitchen, so we can send stuff to these outlets, and it decreases our delivery time, and we're getting a lot more business as a result. And so I think it's a good add-on to have to the portfolio.
How long does it take to set up these ghost kitchens?
10 days to 20 days maximum. That's what's even awesome or great about it. Yes.
No, that's great. And you're finding so you got the container, which is fascinating. So that's different. But you're looking at renting space and then converting that space, just empty space, warehouse space.
Yeah, very simple space. It doesn't have to be seen. The focus is delivery and the online channels. So it's not where we need people to come and pick it up or anything like that. So we're keeping it simple and following what the people want.
Let me ask you quickly about delivery, and then I'm going to ask you another question. We've got about 3 minutes. Just quickly on delivery, everyone immediately went into the delivery market. That's how a lot of restaurants survive. But do you have any comments to make about that? Because I know your Grabs and your Gojeks maybe not so much. Sorry, yes, but your Grabs and your Pandas. I mean, there's been a lot of your Line Man. I mean, there's been a lot of services for that. Have you found that quickly?
Yeah. I mean, it's the devil you have to deal with in all the markets that we're in. This is one thing. I wish Thailand would fight a bit harder to get the rates reduced, because that's important. Because working on these platforms, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. So we're damned if we don't, because we don't get those customers, and when we do, we don't really make that much profit. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, and hopefully over time it gets better. But that's why we focus on our own channel. Yeah. We've been really pushing our Line official, Facebook, getting deliveries direct, which is making a big difference.
Okay, that's great. Hey, so let's just wrap it up by asking you, what's next? I mean, are you able to take any of the examples of what you've done in Bangkok and take to other urban centers? I know you're in a lot of other urban centers around the region, from Beijing to Ho Chi Minh City to KL. Are you taking any of those examples? And Manila, for example. I mean, are you developing as a result? Expanding? Actually, Japan is probably a bit ahead of us. We keep having a race to open these suburban centers. Japan's already opened 3. They're doing just as much volume as our downtown outlets, which in 2019. So we're saying this is a great model. We're rolling out our ghost kitchen models for all our franchisees to add to their portfolios, and so we'll see a few of those come up. And what we're doing is we're looking at capitalizing on weak rental market. And so a lot of restaurants have closed around the world, and not only Bangkok, but we're able to take over these restaurants for considerably less and renovate them and turn them into profit centers very quickly. So we're on target. Excellent. I mean, it's also good because we have loyal customers. We've been around for 65 years. People both know COCA and Mango Tree. So when the customers do come back, they come back very quickly. That's why you saw us open 7 restaurants last year, and we're on target to open 17 this year with all the new models we've added to everyone. So it's every crisis there's opportunity. No, it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's a renter's market, and if you're able to leverage brand and leverage customer loyalty, that's excellent. Phil, do you want to come in a sec?
Sure. Thanks so much. Oh, Trevor, great. Actually, you and Charlie both got the memo on the blue blazers. David and I'm sorry, we didn't get that. I've got a question for Trevor. I mean, it's just a shitstorm out there for restaurants right now. I mean, sorry to say, Jesus, devastation. If you go back and look at a 20-year-old Trevor, maybe before the blazer, right? Go backwards and say, 20-year-old restaurateur Trevor, what are you going to say to somebody who's in this business about a future? What's going forward in Bangkok? I want to be a restaurateur. Is there any hope? What do you think you're going to have to do in the future to be a restaurateur in Bangkok and survive, much less prosper?
Well, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to work on the experience. I mean, Bangkok for a long time just worked on and still does, that we have these hordes of tourists and corporate, and now we're going to become up from Canada and the North American restaurant market. It is so competitive. So I really see a lot of competition coming up. I also see a lot of innovation because the younger generation is coming into the market and they're accepting things in a different ways. But people need to go out and eat. This is one thing I keep hearing day after day after day. I can't wait to go eat at a restaurant. I can't wait to go eat at a restaurant. So we definitely know that restaurants are not going away.
Great news. Great presentation, Trevor. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.